really worried about his state. So there's been a difficulty or an issue in pleasing his woman. Now he has, would I say yes, erectile dysfunction, having to ejaculate, quickly, So how, for such a couple, how do you preserve, or how do you keep, or how do you maintain, I think, a longer, there's already disparity in their, sexual response cycle, where the man comes in less than 2 minutes and, the woman doesn't really enjoy any. So for such a person in that situation, what would you want to say to that couple? How do they balance and get better in their sexuality?
Sorry, just to clarify, I think he's referring to premature ejaculation, not erectile dysfunction. Yes. Erectile dysfunction, that refers to when a man finds it difficult to sustain an erection. So premature ejaculation is when a man ejaculates quickly, like normally within a minute or 2 minutes. So I think he's referring to premature ejaculation if he's speaking about coming too quickly. Now, if it's a case of where he wants to, so the thing with premature ejaculation is it's something that's very common amongst a lot of men. Most men would like to last longer in the bedroom, and a lot of men do exaggerate how long we last in the bedroom. So there's this, and a lot of men do suffer from performance anxiety because of that, because they expect to last as long as maybe what they've seen in porn, or what even maybe their wife expects, because she might have some preconceived notions in terms of how long a man is expected to last. And especially when it comes to experiencing an orgasm during sexual intercourse, on average, a woman needs about 14 to 20 minutes of penetrative intercourse. And most women don't actually even orgasm via penetrative intercourse alone. They need a combination of maybe penetrative intercourse and primarily clitoral stimulation. So if he's under pressure because he's feeling, I'm not able to help her orgasm during penetrative sex before coming, it may be very difficult, because like I said, generally women need longer, because when a man is penetrating a woman, he's indirectly stimulating her clitoris. He's not directly stimulating the clitoris. That's why a woman needs longer. If it's a case of he's troubled by the fact that he would just naturally like to last longer, there are some techniques that he can do without using any tablets. There's like the start and stop technique, which is basically where when he's thrusting, if he feels about to get to the point of no return, when he's about to ejaculate, he stops penetrating. So obviously, naturally, the sensation subsides, and then he'll kind of start penetrating again. Or he can do the squeeze technique where he holds the tip of his penis. So there's a lot of, and also he can also practice kegel exercises as well to strengthen his pelvic floor muscles, and then that can also help him regain control, so he can prevent himself from ejaculating very quickly. Now, even I always tell men, when they're obviously having relations with their wife, not to go at it like a jackhammer, because for a lot of us men, it's about how fast and hard you are. Now that might turn you on and get you off really quickly, when in many cases it's not really doing much for your wife. So it's all about maybe taking control, being patient, and having a very good stroke game. Now again, for a lot of men, that's why it's all about prioritizing her pleasure and coming to the topic of today, raising her satisfaction. If you're trying to ensure she's satisfied, even when you're communicating, asking, is this what she likes? Because in many cases, that fast and hard thrusting that you're doing, it's not giving her increased pleasure. So you can prolong your performance by going slower. It's just understanding your body. And that's why, again, I think with a lot of men don't even understand our own bodies. So it's about, like I said, being in tune with your body, and again, having that frank and honest conversation with your spouse to find out what she wants. Because, and obviously you can try the kunyaza technique as well, because that can help you not only last longer in the bedroom. The reason why is because it's teaching you to have ejaculatory control. Mm-hmm. And also you can practice semen retention. So there are a number of techniques. And
then it gives him control as well, to take time to rest and, regain strength to go further. And at that point, you're taking longer time. You're, giving that space that you need to, reduce the pleasure, the heightened pleasure for him, and while pleasing the woman. I really love this. Amazing.
And just to add, I mean, obviously, if he's doing any of these techniques, like the start and stop technique, because generally what happens is, and this is something that a lot of women do not appreciate, that as a man, so for example, he's in the throes of passion and she will say, don't stop, continue. He can't help himself, but in order to prolong the session, he needs to pull out. So what he can do in order to prolong even her satisfaction, he can pull out in terms of intercourse, but then he can continue to stimulate with his fingers or his tongue or what have you. So she's still being stimulated, and he then has the time where he can get back his composure and go in again. But so a lot of women don't realize that a lot of men are under a lot of pressure. Like sex for a lot of men is very performative. Because if it was up to us, and a lot of men, I would say, and obviously I'm saying this because I'm a man, we do want to ensure that our wives are satisfied. But sometimes our body lets us down, but our partner is saying, go longer, go faster, and we're not able to control ourselves. So that's why it's about understanding. And again, as much as, and I know women say, I hear a lot of women saying, as long as the man is being vulnerable and opening up, that's all well and good, and it sounds nice. But in reality, we're still men, we have our ego. And we want to feel like we are the man. And if that's the case, sometimes we might be hiding our insecurities with our wife because but then that's why you just have to kind of be very clever, like I said. So, like I said, if he's feeling like he's going to ejaculate too quickly, he can pull out and then start stimulating with his hands or his fingers. So she's continuing to be stimulated, and then he can hopefully get his, he can go, he's restored now and replenished to go again.
Wow, amazing. I mean, if you're watching, you sent in this message in confidence, and here you go, you have the answer, and this is absolutely, the best you can think of.